So, good evening. Wanted to explain the method of my madness on my garden and what I'm doing next year, what I'm starting this year for next year. So let's get started. So this is truck patch, and look at that, volunteer leftover watermelons, sugar babies. Those vines will go in my pile here. And what I've been doing here is just taking my vines from everything that I pull out of the garden, throwing them here, the fruit or vegetables that the birds have drilled holes in, like my okra pods that are too large and too tough and woody. I throw in here the corn stalks, the corn silks, the bad ears of corn. Thrown it all in here, and I've already layered my okra cuttings. I did, oh goodness, 4 quarts of okra I froze up last night. So all the tips and ends and the ones that were too big, I threw in here. I had a whole pan full, and I scattered those in along with some bean hulls. And then I layered coffee on the top, watered it down, and then with my garden fork, I aerated and turned it, get some air going through there. And this pile used to be pretty tall. And as you can see, the worms are doing their job and it's settling down. So I'm going to do it from this end all the way over to that end. Everything over here really loved it, or they thrived better than any other time when I've grown. And I mean, that's just a massive jungle. It's hard to see it on video, but in real life it's just absolutely crazy. And I had transplanted a little pathetic pepper plant into here. And this thing is a peppercini. And the peppercini likes this as well. The soil was warmer. I want to say I put this in like late March and early April. And the ground was warmer here where I had layered it. And I have a strawberry over there still putting strawberries out. But I've harvested peppercinis from here several times. Like I said, the tomatoes and even the basil is 3.5 feet tall, so it's loved it. And my tomatoes, it's just an absolute jungle. I mean, there is no keeping this under control. So yeah, I'm gonna do it all the way to the end this year. This coming year, I guess, is more appropriate. This year is over. So when I say this year, I mean next year. And I have more cotton pods that are opening up. Not sure yet. I know I'll be harvesting the seeds. I've already harvested seeds from several pods. And get about between a dozen to 2 dozen seeds per pod. And I'm not sure if I want to try to make Christmas ornaments out of those, or if I will, I don't know, compost them. I want to show you. Okay, this is my, see if you can see. No, I'll have to go to the other side. But check out this okra. That's going to seed. A couple days I was sick, had a respiratory infection, and Mom's got pneumonia. I call it the Hillary cough. So yeah, I'm leaving this to go to seed. And this down. This big one here going to seed. And another one. I think once these guys have reached 10 foot tall, between 8 and 10 feet. See, there's another one. That's a keeper. So yeah, that's how far I can reach up, and it's still 3 feet up from as high as I can reach. I don't know what I do. I think I'm going to nickname this Russian okra because it gets as tall as my Russian mammoth sunflowers, and all it is clumps and okra. This is where my spaghetti squash was, and that end was cucumbers over there, and I've pulled all the vines out there and here. These are all my beans. I'm going to let the beans go to dry up in the holes and harvest them that way. They'll keep better over the winter time, and I can use them for seed next year. These are some pole beans, and I hadn't intended on, these are ones that I put in late. These were already here when I put my corn in. So when I tore my corn down, these bush beans were already growing. And that's a lone green bean that's left. But yeah, I'm just going to turn these back into the ground. Beans are supposed to be good at fixing nitrogen in the soil. And here's some peppers. So, more cotton that's opening. I have a little baby bell. More okra. More okra. This isn't quite as tall. I can reach the top of this. So this is about 6 foot tall here. And maybe 6'4". Some petunias. Yeah, I'm not real sure how those got there, but I kind of like them. I want to ask if anybody knows what kind of pepper this is. It looks like a creamy yellow wax. Looks like a green bell, sort of. And I know I have green bell peppers here, and I've harvested a few times. Some pepperoncinis in here, and there's a lot of pepperoncinis on this one. They're just hanging all over the place. And basil's all went to seed. There's some asparagus. Not sure if I'm going to leave the asparagus or pull it up, but yeah, this is some of the corn sprouted that was on the ears. All that'll be turned in, and I'll either burn it, since the corn doesn't seem to compost down real well. I'll do a controlled burn, and I'll turn the ashes over into the soil. I'm going to use my truck and go get some bales of straw, and then I'll be layering it with straw, and the leaves are falling off the trees, so I'll be putting leaves and grass clippings. A couple more times left yet to mow the lawn, so some grass clippings, and then I'll be doing like all the vines, everything that's growing. And I want to throw something out here that I'm thinking about doing, and trying to save space instead of expanding out this way, because shoot, I got 3 more of this size garden that I could put out that way. Well, at least once more, and then I'm into drain field. But what I'm thinking about doing is leaving my okra stalks for next year, not to grow them, but to let my beans go up and grow vertically. So on the ground in between where the stalks are, I'll plant either, I'm going to try cucumbers probably in one section and beans in another. Since this is the shorter stuff, I'll put the cucumbers over here. I'll put pole beans over there, since those were they're all 10 to at least 10 foot tall. It's just the craziest thing. Like I said, I don't know what I do to my okra. And here's another one that's, if you can see that, seed pod. Yeah, if I don't keep up on this and come out every day, it just gets too big too fast. So another view of where I'm layering it, composting, and yeah, hopefully I'll have that all the way across by spring planting. And I'm going to do peppers on this end next year. Peppers and tomatoes. My stevia is starting to flower. So I'm going to save some of these flower tops and see if I can successfully seed save. The seeds from stevia, they are so tiny. And I haven't had much luck in the past years. So we're going to try and see how that goes. So yeah, that's some of my thinking for what I'm going to do next year. I think I'm going to use existing to grow vertically, save some space. I won't be doing near as much okra next year. But we'll see. I love my okra. My peppers and my tomatoes, just yum, yum. Oh, and the beans. There's just, I can't even describe the difference in flavor between something bought at the store and even a farmer's market is not as good. I think a lot of that stuff is grown in hot houses and greenhouses and just not nearly as has the flavor as something that's grown outside and organically, because I use 0 chemicals on any of this. I mean, absolutely no chemicals. I will, okay, Epsom salt. I do put Epsom salts down. So, yeah, what do you think? Use existing stalks and for the next year and grow vertically instead of ground cover? I think that'll save some space if I do that. And these things are pretty thick, so they really could handle. They're pretty tall, so I think I could do some pole beans there. And those tall brown sticks, those are where I harvested some Russian mammoths. And I'll leave those too. I might try to do a trellis in between. We'll see how they fare during the winter and if they're sturdy enough. So that's it. Hope it's almost dark and I'm getting eaten up by skeeters. So I will let you all go, and that's let me know what you think. If growing vertically is a good deal, I think it's going to work out quite well, and every year I do something different and I add something new that I haven't previously grown. And have a blessed evening. Have a great weekend. Thank a veteran. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger. And don't forget our boys and girls deployed. Thanks for stopping by and watching.